Hello, welcome to the video. I think it's time we revisited this little beauty. This is Zettle's wonderful but slightly flawed terminal. I've actually seen this being used out in the wild, and there's been some pretty clever functionality in there, but also I've still got some confusion. So join me in this video as we go and have another revisit of the world of the Zettle terminal. Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer, fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, and also head of accounts here at Boffix. Now in today's video, we're going to be focusing our attention back on the Zettle terminal. Currently updated, finally updated just as we speak. Now, I've got a love-hate relationship with this device. I absolutely love the form factor and the way that it works, and the opportunity that literally this is all you need to run a business. Perfect, what more could you want? But there's been some flaws in this particular solution, and that's the bit I want to bring up now. So first and foremost, there's a bit of an update of how we've been using it, what we've been doing for our clients and bringing it into their world. Well, it's still really stable. I say that and I won't switch back on, but it has been very stable up until now. Now the updates have come along and they have got some little bit of functionality to this device that's been useful. We have the opportunity to see what's new every time that an update does come through, and in this point issues related to Klarna payments have been fixed and are now back up and running, so things like that are good. I did notice, well, one of the other updates that came through is now it will update automatically in the background, so less downtime, because one of the worst things you want to do, come to use the device and it says update and you've got a person stood there waiting to be paid or waiting to pay for your services. That's definitely not good. And the system itself has had a quick bin update, and so has Zettle Go itself, which is the software used on top of it. Now the bit I want to talk about today is a feature that I actually kind of boo-hooed a little bit when I first used this solution, and that is as follows. If I was going to go and buy and very important that we bring this up, but I'm going to buy a pizza in this one. I'm just going to charge myself and I'm going to put it against cash because why not? And let's say that we tendered £20. Okay, it tells me I need £5. And let's say that we want to print that receipt. When we print that receipt, it prints a nice little receipt for us at the top here and puts an order number of 26. Then goes and prints a second element to it of there's my receipt, order number 26, order number 26. Now originally I was a little bit confused about this one, because I was like, well, it's all good, all well and good that you've got your order number solutions coming through, but then there was no way of kind of finding the order number. Like if I needed to refer back to the order number here, well, I was unable to bring that person in. I was trying to find it under maybe up here a little bit, and then I was trying to find it down there, and I was trying to search for it there and everything else, and I couldn't find the order number solution. But that's where I figured out what this order number bit is all about. You see, this first part of the receipt, well, that's the receipt that goes to the person. They take that receipt and they're happy. This part though is the bit that goes back to the kitchen. So the way that they were using it in this particular solution was really clever. Me, the customer, got this receipt. I knew I was order number 26. I could then potter off. This was for a pizza as well. And then I was able to go and maybe grab a drink or go and sit down. We're in a festival environment, so probably what we should be doing at that time is trying to find where it is we want to go and watch the next band that was on, etc. But that receipt now gave me all I needed to know and my proof that that pizza that's being cooked, it's going to take a good 10, 15, 20, maybe in this case 45 minutes. At least I had my little order number on me ready to go. Now curiously though, what was thinking in the back of my mind, well, what are they going to do for actually understanding the ordering? How do they know what pizza to make? And my initial reaction was, well, must be using the app to bring it in. And again, this is where the downside comes about, because there's no way for me now to find order number 26 in my case on here to find out what I was. The only way I can bring up what my order or what pizza I need to make is by bringing up the app, going into receipts, looking at what I've taken today, remembering it was £15, but if every pizza is £15, that's not going to be very useful for me. And I go into the £15 and I have a look, and it does say receipt 25, which doesn't represent order number 26. It does say what the purchase item is, but it doesn't correspond anywhere to order number 26. The only way I can get order number 26 is by printing it out again, maybe. Maybe I could do 2 prints of this invoice. I could maybe print it again and have a look. Let's see what it prints out as. Doesn't print out anything at this point. So yeah, so that's where I was kind of getting frustrated. Like, the functionality is really clever. You put an order number in, me the customer, I wander around, but how do the people at the kitchen know what orders? So my initial reaction, well, the kitchen just needs an iPad or a computer just sat there waiting to be able to take these transactions and make sure that they can do them. So in the way I was thinking about it was, well, this is quite straightforward, isn't it? They have this iPad here, so surely they're going to be able to look at it. But again, they're at the same problem. If they jump in the receipts area, they've just got 2 numbers. Now, I suppose you could do chronological to make sure that we do the 15 first and then we do the 25. But then once I've done that, how do I tell them that that's the order number? Because again, nowhere on here is it telling me what order number this relates to, unless I was to print off the next one. Receipt 26, ironically, is, yeah, receipt 26, but an order number 27 in my case. So those numbers don't agree. And it was starting to confuse me a little bit. And I was like, well, what options have you got in here? You know, is there a way? And I feel, again, the fundamental flaw of this solution is, even if I go to reports, I don't have an easy way to be able to bring up those reports or bring up those order numbers. And all I really need is a list of order numbers and maybe even an opportunity to fulfill those orders. Yeah, I've done that order, I've done that order, done that order, done that order, move on. So I was getting a little bit kind of confused about it. And I was thinking, well, you know, even if you can't have this app, maybe I had to go over to the actual the online ones. So in front of me now, I've got the online version of it, but even still here, I'm still struggling to find that number. What I could probably do here is if I do order number 27, does that pop up? No, it doesn't. Because again, these are receipt numbers. They're not quite helping us. So I was racking my brains as to what to bring on this one and how to do them. But then I had a thought. That thought was that actually, if I go into my settings here, when we looked at this back in the day, we had the same settings options we had just here. And this is to do with our terminal printer and dock. And on there is order ticket. So let's turn order tickets on and print a test receipt. That gives me a congratulations, that's been running. But now let's go through and let's start putting another order in. So now I'm up to order number 27 and have a look at what order we have. So this time, no cheese, large pizza, cash, again, 20, and okay. And then print the receipt. This time around, because we've turned those order receipt features on, I still get the chance to print off mine to now order number 26. But as you can hear, we now have this little piece of paper here. And this little piece of paper here, which admittedly was printed on the others, I just, for dramatic effect, pretended it wasn't there because I forgot to turn the feature off. But this little feature here is the solution. On here it tells me, cashier Aaron Patrick on the 17th of September, I took an order for Hawaiian pizza, no cheese, large, order number 28. So the idea is that this little piece of paper heads itself over to the kitchen. Then they could have all of the papers all lined up, 26, 27, 28, just like this. And this is the solution for making your pizzas. So we have the solution built in. It's just very paper based. And again, this is the bit where I feel like, yes, that's a solution. and maybe a solution I should have probably thought of sooner instead of having to see it in the wild, but it's still a solution for me that just doesn't quite work. And that's where I'm still banging my head against with this particular product. I still absolutely love this and will highly recommend it, but you're going to have to take some compromises. And all it takes is a little bit of extra thought and care into the software side of things, and all of these particular issues and problems will go away. So there's a little update. Turning on that feature within the settings, within the receipts, to turn on the order update means that yes, we can have this wonderful little paper solution where our customers are happy because they're getting all their customer numbers and order numbers, and they can go away and come back later and collect their order. But is the kitchen happy to be having little pieces like this? Some kitchens probably are, but I still think there's got to be a better way going forward. And there we have it, an update on it. Nothing else has really changed. We've been keeping an eye on it, seeing if there's anything else there. We've still got some comparisons to run between Zettle and Square. So if you would like that sooner rather than later, please put your comments in below and we'll make sure we prioritize that video. But there we have it. That is a breakdown of where we are within Zettle. I still personally would love to see Bluetooth added to the device. I think that will be a brilliant addition that I think will make it far, far useful than it is in its current state. And I think from a software point of view, there needs to be some sort of either opportunity for third parties to jump in and actually solve the solutions for them, or for Zettle themselves to find ways to actually solve the solutions themselves. But I do think that it's still flawed in certain areas, which is a shame. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and all of that jazz. Make sure you share it to anyone else who is interested in the world of Epos solutions, etc. My name's been Aaron Patrick. That's our update for Zettle. As always, this video has been an absolute pleasure to do, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Okay, so I thought we'd best actually visualize this a little bit more. So outside, let's pretend you've come to me wanting a pizza. Again, I've got all the information I need right here. So from here, I can go in, pick the pizza. So let's go for Hawaiian. Let's go for no pineapple. Let's go for small. Again, we can then get the charge. The customer's happy. They know their order number is number 29 in this case. And they've got their receipt going forward. But the problem is now that we've got to think about the kitchen staff. So the kitchen staff get these pieces of paper, and now probably tell it's a bit windy out here today. So they've got to play around with these pieces of paper. Admittedly, it does tell them what it is they need, and you are in control of that, as long as you don't lose the piece of paper. So maybe you need some sort of board or something that you can attach the actual pieces of paper to. That's probably going to be something that's going to make your life easier. But ultimately, you need to use this tiny piece of paper to decide what type of pizza you're going to be putting on your board. Then you're going to go in, you're going to start trying to put your pizza in there. You've then got to keep this piece of paper around because you still need to put this as the order that's there. And an electronic board would be so much more useful. Then the person's going to have to go grab the pizza, put the pizza into some sort of box, and then either write number 26 on it or put it through from there. And it just feels like yes, it's a solution, but I feel like given the technology that's available and the fact that we're already using the technology there is by far better ways of doing it. So yeah, again, great concept, possibly a little bit flawed.